is what you handed me. That's what this is what you handed me. Okay, it has everything on it.
Excellent.
It has the name of the candle lighter.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. My name is Reverend Kiya Heartwood, and my pronouns are she, they, and we're very happy that you're here this morning to talk about American Buddhism and to just be together. So we're going to start out by singing Find the Stillness, which is number 352 in the gray hymnal.
Shock me every time.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit's giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit's giving power, I will find true harmony.
Good morning. This is looking to be another beautiful day. Aren't we lucky? Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley. If you like shorter names, we have UUCBV, works very well on checks, or Brazos UU for short. My name is Carolyn Clark, and it's my privilege to be worship assistant this morning. We are a welcoming congregation, which means we celebrate and we welcome all people across diversities of race, gender, sexual identities, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We are also a congregation working for reproductive justice. So, whoever you are, wherever you have come from, and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here.
Our call to worship this morning comes from American Buddhist teacher Ruth King, who said, "When we are unconscious of how we affect each other, we are most likely to cause harm. However, when non-harming is at the forefront of our awareness, it becomes an anchor, a way of reminding us, moment to moment, to pay attention, to live mindfully." Ruth King.
Okay, it's time to light our chalice. And Elena, here you are. Please say our chalice lighting words with me. We light the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life of truth and meaning we share together. And we follow that with our affirmation statement. Now, all please join me in saying that. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
As Unitarian Universalists, we believe there's a spark of the divine in every being in the entire universe, but also every one of us in this room. And this is your great opportunity to say howdy to the other divine sparks in the room. So please make an effort to speak to the ones you don't know their names yet, no matter how old they are or how young they are. And I will let you know when it's over. Let's go.
Once you
Good morning. How is everyone today? Thumbs up, middle, thumbs down. Oh, I have this. I haven't seen this before. There's like a 1.5 in the back. Love that. Well, I am so happy to see all of you. My name is Allison. I use she, they pronouns, and I am the Director of Religious Education here at UUCBV. And today, our story, it helped me this week. Let me tell you how. So, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling, the word I'm using is untethered. Whoa, there's a lot going on. So, I remembered, and then I saw what we were talking about today, and I remembered a book that I absolutely love, not only because it includes like some of my favorite children's authors and illustrators, but also because it can be used as kind of a meditative practice to tether yourself and become grounded. And it is called I Am Peace. So if you are a meditating type, I'm gonna read it pretty smoothly if you wanna close your eyes, but there are also images on the screen. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what happened before. The thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor, being carried away. I give myself a moment. I take a breath. Why don't we all do that together? And then I tell myself, it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet and steady myself. And I start to notice the here and the now. My thoughts begin to settle. My mind begins to clear. I am peace. I can watch my worries gently pop and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I can share kindness with others. I make a difference. I can hug a tree and thank it for its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath fill my whole body. I tune in to me. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now, I can share my peace with others and hope it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream that we are peace. The end. And now I would love to invite all of my younger UUs to religious education. I will be at the back door if you're feeling a little nervous, and I will make sure you get where you're supposed to go. And would everyone else please send us out with this little light of mine?
Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now's the time in our service that we light candles in our beautiful candelarias, or we sit in our seats and talk to God if we talk to God, and talk to ourselves if we want to, because it's that kind of place. So make yourselves happy and have a moment. And we're going to have Ivy play some beautiful rendition of Spirit of Life. So when we hear the word Buddhism, we imagine, I don't know, what do y'all imagine? Silence, stillness, perhaps a robed monk seated beneath a Bodhi tree, eyes closed, bald, breathing slow. We imagine calm, peace, detachment, like an episode of Kung Fu or Kung Fu Panda. But American Buddhism is far more complicated, more restless, more diverse, and more alive than any single image can capture. Now, there's a great deal of madness right now. Can I get a witness? All right. And suffering all around us. Many UU ministers and others answered the call. They put a call out to all the ministers to go to Minneapolis about 10 days ago. And a lot of, also for Texas ministers to go to Dilley, where the 5-year-old was being held. And how many of y'all have been blowing whistles and following ICE around here in the Brazos? Every place in America, it's going on. Our UUA president, Reverend Dr. Sophia Bettencourt, was just arrested in DC. This is a time where many of us want to be engaged, want to find some guidance and moral courage. American Buddhism is a rich source of inspiration and solidarity in these times. There's a great tradition, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So Buddhism first arrived in what we now call the United States through immigration and labor. Chinese Buddhists came during the gold rush. Japanese Buddhists came to farm and fish and build railroads. They bought temples, rituals, ancestors, chanting, incense, and community. These Buddhists were seeking survival, and they faced deep hostility. Asian Buddhists were excluded by law, vilified by newspapers, and incarcerated during World War II. Their temples were burned. Their traditions were dismissed as foreign or inferior. This history matters because it reminds us that American Buddhism was shaped not only by spiritual seeking, but by racism, resilience, and resistance. Long before Buddhism became cool, it was marginalized. For many white Americans, especially in the mid-20th century, Buddhism arrived through books and media like Kung Fu. Those of y'all who are old enough to watch that show, I watched it religiously in elementary school. It arrived through books by D.T. Suzuki, through the beat poets like Gary Snyder or Jack Kerouac, through the counterculture, through Zen centers, for Vipassana retreats. This was a Buddhism that emphasized meditation over ritual, psychology over cosmology, individual awakening over communal obligation. This form of Buddhism spoke powerfully to Americans disillusioned by rigid religion, hungry for direct experience, wary of doctrine. Sound familiar? Sounds like all of us, right? Many Unitarian Universalists recognize something deeply compatible in American Buddhism because it's a non-theistic spiritual path. You know, the Buddha is not considered divine. A focus on practice rather than belief, an emphasis on compassion and interdependence, a willingness to question authority. Love that. And yet, as Buddhism adapted to American culture, something of its traditional flavors were often lost. American Buddhism has sometimes been described as convert Buddhism, shaped largely by educated middle class, often white practitioners. In this process, Buddhism was sometimes stripped of culture, ethics, community responsibility, and even its radical social teachings. Meditation becomes a productivity tool, and mindfulness becomes stress reduction. Suffering becomes something to manage privately rather than transform collectively. But the Buddha did not teach mindfulness so that we could tolerate injustice more calmly. He taught us to help us see clearly, to see craving, delusion, and harm both within us and within our societies. I'm seeing a lot of craving, and harm in our society. True Buddhist practice asks uncomfortable questions. See if any of these questions hit home with you. What systems cause suffering? Who benefits from our ignorance? What would compassion require of us? Not just inwardly, but outwardly. We know these questions well. We too are asking them. One of Buddhism's core teaching is interdependence, the understanding that nothing exists on its own. We arise together. We suffer together. We heal together. Buddhism reminds us that there is no isolated self, no me untouched by you. When one group is dehumanized, all of us are diminished. Let me say that again. When one group of us is dehumanized, all of us are diminished. When one river is poisoned, all water is threatened. We are all Minneapolis, y'all. We are all immigrants. This is not abstract spirituality, it's moral clarity. Today, American Buddhism is slowly becoming more honest, more inclusive, more self-critical. Asian American Buddhists are reclaiming their voices. Engaged Buddhists are confronting racism, climate change, mass incarceration, and war. Teachers are asking how meditation must be paired with ethics, community, and justice. This is a Buddhism that does not turn away from suffering, but bows to it, learns from it, and acts. This is where American Buddhism and Unitarian Universalism meet most fully, in mindful action. So we notice our breath. We notice our fear. Are we making decisions out of love? Are we making decisions out of fear? I think it's real easy to fall into this kind of spiral of worrying, just reacting to what you're scared of. And then pretty soon you're doing stuff that you can't recognize. We have to stay grounded and breathe slow and focus on the people around us and treating them right. Liberation is possible, not someday, not elsewhere, but here and now when we loosen our grip on certainty, ego, and separation. As UUs, we are free to draw from this wisdom without owning it, to learn without appropriating, to practice with humility and gratitude. Yes, right now, there's a major Buddhist peace pilgrimage happening in the United States. Anybody see it? Okay, we're going to show a little movie here in a minute, too. And it's capturing widespread attention for both its spiritual commitment and its social impact. The event is commonly called the Walk for Peace. So the Walk for Peace is a 2,300-mile walking pilgrimage from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C., undertaken by a group of 19 Buddhist monks beginning on October 26, 2025, and designed to last about 120 days. The monks walked with a message of peace, loving kindness, compassion, mindfulness, and nonviolence. Their journey is firmly rooted in Buddhist practice. Each step itself is a form of meditation and witness to peace rather than political protest, although it's a political protest. Along the way, they meet people in towns and cities, offer teachings, accept support, and embody calm presence and social tensions. The main lesson that I have gotten as a minister is don't do something, Kiya, just stand there and don't look anxious. That is my entire job, y'all, in case you want to. Just stay chill. Don't stand there. Don't do something. Just stand there. You can do something, but you need to be a non-anxious presence. Everybody practice that. Anytime you start feeling yourself rev up, especially when you're in community, try to be a non-anxious presence. Slow down. Say, do I really need to do something right now? Or can I just wait a second until we get a better enlightened response? Count to 10. I sometimes have to count to 100. Counting to 100 works every time. So the monks are not alone. A rescue dog named Aloka walks with them. Anybody seen Aloka? Okay. Aloka was a street dog in India who took up with the monks, symbolizing companionship and joy, and has become a widely shared figure on online updates about the pilgrimage. What makes this walk unique and spiritually resonant is it's a form of nonviolence. The monks do not campaign, but they practice a peace, and they serve as a living witness against division and conflict. They have a quiet presence. It's a mindful movement, presence alongside strangers, supporters, and skeptics alike, and they accept help from everyone. They're not going, oh, I don't want you to help me. They see the humanity in all the people, and they see the living holiness in all the beings. Their journey reminds us that peace isn't only declared, it's walked. Walk thousands of miles step by step, mindful and with compassion, and it's a profound spiritual teaching. Buddhism, especially in America, has never been only about sitting still. It's no accident that so many UUs have found a spiritual home in Buddhist practice. When Buddhism is adapted to American culture, something important is sometimes lost. Because we're a little bit too much about the individual. You know how, like, especially UUs, we're like, yeah, the transcendentalists, you know, like Emerson, it's self-reliance and all this, but what they don't talk about is their wives were home cutting the wood and taking care of the babies. They weren't. They were at the library. I don't know what they were doing. Y'all, pay attention. Think of all the people that we need to stay and get things done. The American way is a little too individualistic, valuing some actions more than others. We cannot operate this church without the people who volunteer. You have an opportunity to sign up as a worship associate, as a hospitality person, to help out in the kitchen. This is your opportunity to get involved if you have not. And if you can't for the next 6 weeks, it's okay, we'll sign up again, but we have trainings for this, we will help you, but everybody is important. We need everybody to make this place go. That was a little side message there, sorry. Okay. As Zen priest and social justice leader, Reverend Angel Kyoto Williams reminds us, we cannot meditate our way out of oppression. Buddhist practice at its heart is not about numbing ourselves to pain. It's about seeing clearly, seeing how suffering arises, not only in our minds, but in our systems. One of the most influential figures in American Buddhism was Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Zen monk who spent decades teaching in the United States. And during the Vietnam War, he watched his country torn apart, and he taught something radical, that meditation and action must go together. So he called this engaged Buddhism. That's what we're all practicing. Not Buddhism that escapes the world, but Buddhism that shows up calmly, compassionately, persistently. Thich Nhat Hanh famously said, there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. Sounds like The Mandalorian. During the Vietnam War, monks and nuns walked slowly, mindfully from village to village. Their walking meditation became a public witness against violence. And today, that same practice is unfolding again with the peace walk. And so I want to show a video, if they've got it up. You got it, Dee? All right. I apologize for the AI sound and voice, but this was the best short video I could find.
In a world filled with noise, conflict, and division, there was once a quiet journey that spoke louder than words. No speeches, no banners, no weapons, just 19 monks and one stray dog walking for peace. This is not a story of power. It is a story of compassion, and it carries a lesson the world still needs today. At sunrise, 19 Buddhist monks began a long walk. They carried no possessions except their robes, their bowls, and a deep vow of ahimsa, non-violence. Their mission was simple: to walk through villages and towns, spreading peace not through words, but through presence. They believed peace could be felt if it was lived. As they stepped onto the dusty road, they did not know their journey would soon change. A few miles into the walk, a thin, wounded dog appeared. It kept its distance at first, hungry, tired, and afraid. One monk slowed his pace. Another offered water. A third gently sat on the ground. No one chased the dog away. No one complained. Without command, without fear, the dog followed, one step behind them, then beside them. From that moment on, the journey was no longer of 19 monks. It became 20 souls walking together. As the days passed, villagers noticed something unusual. They saw monks walking in silence, and beside them, a dog. Some laughed, some questioned, some asked, "Why do you let an animal slow you down?" One monk replied softly, "If our peace does not include all beings, then it is not peace at all." The monks adjusted their pace for the dog. They shared their food. They stopped when it was tired. They understood something profound. True peace never leaves anyone behind. The road was not easy. Heat, hunger, pain. Sometimes the dog limped. Sometimes the monks were exhausted, but they never abandoned each other. In moments of silence, the dog became a teacher, a loyalty to trust and unconditional presence. The monks realized peace is not a destination, it is a way of walking. People along the road began to understand. They saw that peace didn't require strength, it required kindness. That leadership didn't mean walking ahead, it meant walking together. That even the smallest life mattered. The dog did not know prayers, it did not know teachings, yet it understood love. And sometimes, love is the greatest teacher of all. This journey of 19 monks and one dog did not change laws, it did not stop wars, but it changed hearts. It showed the world that peace begins with how we treat the weakest, the forgotten, and the voiceless.
So the monks teach us that silence can be moral speech, that discipline can be compassion, and that slowing down can be resistance. They teach us that justice work does not have to be fueled by rage alone and can be sustained by mindfulness, community, and love. They teach us that faith can move not just hearts, but feet. You may have not walked 2,000 miles for peace, but you can walk more mindfully through your own life, walk toward difficult conversations rather than turn away, and walk alongside those who suffer rather than rushing past. We can slow down. We can slow down. Jack Kornfield reminds us, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And what Ruth King says is mindfulness is not about fixing ourselves, it's about befriending ourselves and then acting with wisdom. So may we be like those monks, walking mile after mile, remembering that the way forward is made by walking determined step by step together. Amen. Blessed be. So, Ivy was playing the song that we're going to sing now. I'm just going to sing you a line and you sing it back to me, okay? This is from the Buddha, from the 6th century. Be ye lamps unto yourselves. Be ye lamps unto yourselves. Be your own confidence. Be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves. Hold to the truth within yourselves. as to the only lamps, as to the
Now let an offering be taken to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This church shares the proceeds of the offering plate donation every week to help support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. The 4 groups we voted to support with this year's donations are the Tiny Hope Village, Brazos Interfaith Immigration Network, the Pride Center, and Unlimited Potential. We vote on this every May at our congregational meeting. Today, please be as generous as you can.
If you'd like to sing with us, we're singing the Inagata Davida of Unitarian Universalism, otherwise known as Spirit of Life. It is number 123 in the hymnal. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, roots hold me close, wings set me free, Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. One more time. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, roots hold me close, wings set me free, Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
We give thanks for these gifts we have given. We give thanks for those we receive, and especially we give thanks for each other. May your generosity return to you at least tenfold. We have a few announcements today. To all Meg's family, friends, congregants, and colleagues, you are sincerely invited to 2 celebrations of her amazing life. The first here at her current home church on Friday, February 27th at 6 p.m. We, the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley in Bryan, presided by her wife, Reverend Kiya Heartwood, and co-led by Minister of the CLF, Aisha Hauser. And secondly, at First UU Church of Austin on Saturday, February 28th at 11 a.m., presided by Reverend Jake Morrill, where Reverend Meg was the Minister Emerita and served for 11 years as their lead minister with their current lead minister, Reverend Chris Jimerson. Please come and celebrate and be together in love. Here, I think, a big chewy spread, is that right? Both places will have a big chewy spread after and at the reception, and everybody is welcome. Please bring desserts to share. On Saturday, February 21st, we'll be hosting a swap in the morning and an art workshop with art therapist and meditation teacher and trauma specialist, Mindy Cardenas, for all ages from 1 to 3 p.m. We will be making prayer flags to decorate our church for Meg's celebration on Friday, February 27th. And everyone will be able to take their flags home after the service as a memento. All materials will be provided and guests are welcome. On Sunday, February 22nd, we will be celebrating the blessing of the animals with guest minister Reverend Edith Love. Please bring all your four-legged, winged, and slithering family members to church. Use your judgment as to whether you literally bring them to church or bring the best picture you have of them. Our worship team signups will occur during February, and if you look back through the window on the left, you can see a standing poster. That's where you go to sign up for one of the jobs. Do you want to be a worship assistant, a greeter, someone who sets up coffee, someone who cleans up, or a tech? That's like being a small god or goddess here. This is your time to sign up for one Sunday a month to help our church run smoothly. And these are, if I'm remembering correctly, 6-month commitments. So one Sunday a month for 6 months. Today is this is different. Ask Allison if you have any questions about signing up to help. Today is our second Sunday book club with Liz. Liz, wave your arms up there, leading today's discussion of, and I love this title, One Day, Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. Can you relate? I can. This is a 2025 nonfiction book by Omar El Akkad, winner of the 2025 National Book Award. I think that's all our announcements, so we are ready to extinguish the chalice. So Kiya, do your duty, and we can do ours by saying these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts to gather together again.